frozen that they said, so we are back. Welcome to Marriage for Real. You guys let us know if it is better, because we can't tell, and I'm squinting because my phone is pretty far away from me. So good evening, Kay Shanta. We see you guys. Where are you guys from? I want to go outside. Hi. Did you get my email? I emailed you back, so let me know if you got my email. Regina 50. We see one little heart kind of going across the scene. How are you guys this evening? Good to see you. Hi, baby case. MWD 75. Hey, young baller. How are you this evening? Good to see you guys. Let me know, you guys. Is this a better signal for you guys? Smoke bowls. Is this a better signal? Let me know. Dwayne, is that you in the green hearts?
I just popped on.
Kapow School is on. Where's Dwayne hiding? Dwayne is here. He's in the background, but we are scoping with the aunties tonight. Thank you very much. So, but he is in the background. So right now we're gonna have the aunties introduce themselves. So right now we have
Auntie Denise.
And you've been married for
10 years.
Okay.
And Auntie Brenda, been married for 47 years.
Woo! 47. They said, "Hey, family, hello from Vegas." And
this is Auntie Tanya. I've been married for 20 years.
They said, "Hi, aunties. I want to go." So you know what, you guys? After being married for 20 years, myself, we got some sage wisdom up in the house. They said 4 lovely ladies. Aww. We got some wisdom in the house. So, who's going to start off the questions on tonight? They said hi. They said hi back. Hey, JSW, 46, Noseclad. Welcome to Marriage for Real. I'm Toy, and usually with me is Dwayne. Hi, Zane. We see you there. Hi from California. Hi, you guys. So on tonight, let's start. We'll start off the questions, okay? So, hey, Renee. The first question is, what's the best thing about being married?
Is that directed to all of us?
Yes. I want everybody to answer.
Y'all relax now. Y'all just talking. Y'all relax.
Like, oh my gosh.
I like the companionship.
Companionship.
It's just wonderful. And, you know, being someone to touch and agree in things concerning the Lord. The Bible said where there's unity, there's strength. And when you don't have anyone around you that can maybe stand in agreement with you, you can grab your husband.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can I hear you?
Yeah, that's good. They said, "Hey, ladies." Oh, my goodness. 47 years. He said, "That's awesome." What about you, Auntie Brenda?
For being married for 47 years, marriage is good. And being married, well, at the beginning, oh, it's beautiful.
But what's the best thing about being married?
Best thing about being married, I would say companionship, and legally you can make love.
Legally, Auntie Brenda, for 47 years, said legally,
that's where it's supposed to be.
under covenant,
That's right.
you can make love. They said 47 years. Congratulations.
You know, went there already.
That's right.
We call it, at Marriage for Real, we call it 57. It's the code word, 57.
Is it?
It's,
Right.
yeah, 57.
Oh my goodness.
So she said how humble that is. Aww.
Oh.
What about you?
Just somebody to grow old with. You know, a lot of times when you get older, your kids are gone, and
Yes.
you know, and then when everybody's gone, so now it's just you and your husband. So you have somebody that you can kind of grow old with, and he knows you and you know him. So I would say that's a safe answer.
That's a safe answer. Now here comes the next question. What's the hardest thing about being married?
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
I think just the constant adjusting, trying to understand one another.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you're different. You're 2 different people.
Mm-hmm.
2 different ways, you know. But you're constantly trying to become one.
Listen.
So the hardest thing is trying to know who your spouse really is,
Mm-hmm.
and asking God to help you to understand him.
Mm-hmm.
Help me to understand what he meant, even though he said this.
Yes.
And so that's really understanding he's human, understanding he's going to make mistakes, then forgiving and trying to work that's hard. Just knowing who another person is, that you just adjusting to another person because they're not going to change.
We got a question. What is the hardest? How do you overcome your differences after 47 years?
Oh.
After 45.
See,
Well, you learn with wisdom. You learn your companion, your husband.
Yeah.
So you learn who he is and how he thinks and when to disagree and when to be quiet and when to talk up too. You got to know when to say things and when not to say things. And God give you wisdom how to deal with them.
Yes.
That's how he deal with you. But you know, after 47 years, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better than the first.
And so you know,
few
like
years, it's better.
like we say here at Marriage for Real, we always say you have to always create the atmosphere to have those hard conversations. You have to choose the right time. You just can't just have that conversation like because you feel like it. You have to create the atmosphere for that conversation to be had. Anybody else want to answer that? How do you?
Well, I would just like to say that I know that I said I was only married 10 years, so they probably feel that my experience is not that. But I was married 13 years before that, and I'm a product of divorce. So in many ways, I could even add that marriage.
Reiterate that for them.
Right. So they said, "Oh, it's freezing. Oh no, go back out and come back in."
Oh, this is too
So if JSW says she loves it. So here's the thing. So Auntie Denise was married for 13 years prior to her current marriage. And so I think that's a discussion that we haven't had here, even at Marriage for Real. And that's just even discussing what does divorce look like for the Christian woman to remarry. Auntie was married before. Yes, Auntie was married before. Yes, absolutely she was. They said, okay. So they like, you got some tenure coming on. You got some tenure coming on. So if you say it's like 23 years in, so yes, she was married before. And so I know.
And so was I. I was married for 20 years and I was married for 8 years before. So I was married a total of 28 years.
So we got some skin in the game. Compiled, y'all, we got over 100 years of marriage.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we got over 100 years of marriage. You got anything about difficulty? What's the most difficult thing about it?
Blending two different people.
Okay, you guys, I see some people on me. Some people are in. Are you doing good?
I'm good. You're doing fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Two different personalities because you have two different people who have two different upbringings. So just trying to blend, because like with us, we came from like my husband was married before and I was married before. So we brought children into marriage. So that was a difficult situation for us. But through Christ, we made it through. So it's just you have to be intentional as far as saying that I want it to work, and just kind of just put everything aside and say we want it to work. And so we do, like Pastor said, we don't care about who's right, but we do what's right.
Yes.
So, and that's the key, doing what's right.
Yes, absolutely. And so you know that at Marriage for Real, we always say there's no B plan, that we are the team. So whatever, you're a teammate, so you have to figure that thing out. So whatever that looks like, you have to get a game plan and make it happen. So Nicole, you had a question. What is your question, Nicole? Because the aunties are here. Red and black? They said red and black is for the Falcons. No. They throwing it up. You know, this wasn't even rehearsed, you guys. Today is our little cousin/nephew's nephew's christening today. So the church had red and black on us. I said, you know what? We got all this wisdom here.
It just happened.
It just happened?
It happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We
It just
didn't know it.
happened.
Not intentionally.
So it just happened. What is the advice on being married but not sexually attracted to your spouse?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know. My husband has a body like Brad Pitt. He really does. And he's 74 years old. And you know, I was hoping, I was telling somebody, don't ask me when it's gonna be over as far as sexual activity, because I couldn't tell you that.
Okay.
Because you know it's really ongoing.
Repeat that question.
She said what happens when you're not sexually attracted to your spouse?
The Lord, I believe the Lord can help you.
How can I mean, what way you're not sexually attracted to your spouse? You didn't marry him. I mean, there's something I can do now. I mean, saying. It's something. I'm saying, how you not sexual?
Oh my God.
God.
Auntie Brenda said, now this got to be something you can do now. Like,
Right.
there's something
And you
can
know
do.
what?
I mean,
And it doesn't have to be physical. I mean, there should have some other attractions as well. You know, I mean, besides the sex.
what's wrong?
Conversation. I
But
mean,
she said
company.
sexually though.
Here's another
Some-
question.
It has to be something else.
Have any of you ladies experienced a drought in desire?
Of course,
Of
please.
course,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody has, you know, emotion.
You know, I didn't learn. I tell many women, talk up. Tell them what you want.
Wait a minute. That's after 47 years. You know what, women, sometimes we still have a difficult time telling our husbands what we want.
Makes you know,
Yeah.
what makes
That's 47 years right there.
It's serious. I mean,
Tell them what you want.
I didn't know nothing at the beginning, but after a while, it was a little while, I started asking the Lord, just give me what to say. But I start talking to my husband. When you get freely, you start talking to him and tell you what you like, because I become one, and you're not embarrassed. So, and just between the two, so you get sexually attracted. You know how? You know, this is something y'all have to talk over. What attract to you? You know, attract to you.
So can we talk a little bit about what that drought looks like and what brings those things? We know sometimes working a lot brings a drought. Sometimes stress brings a drought. Sometimes, you know, just sickness brings a drought. Yes.
Working.
Stress.
Yes.
Stress.
She says, okay,
Dealing with the
Nicole
children.
said meaning that mentally everything is good, but I missed it.
But being married, you're just not connected to them.
Yeah, so she's saying, you know, just mentally they're on the same page, but just like, is you saying more like you feel like business partners
There's a disconnect.
So it's a disconnect between them two. Is why that she's not sexually attracted to him.
Y'all have to
You have
do
to
something to
communicate.
connect them. I mean, it's something you have to get together by yourself. And, you know, just think what make you come back together, close again. Is it
Does she
going
know?
out?
Does she know? Did something happen?
Ask her the question.
Ask her.
Yeah.
Ask her.
Did something happen that caused a disconnection?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe you can put your finger on that and build again.
Yeah.
Because God is able to bring restoration and reconciliation and restore that was lost. He really is. If God can, let me tell you this testimony real quickly. I was attracted to this unsaved boy, and I was saved and he wasn't. And this is when I was a teenager, and the Lord delivered me from him by disconnecting something. And when that boy came over that I thought was fine before, he looked like a monkey. I thought Cheetah, I kid you not, had just walked in the door. And I used to think that was the finest man I've ever seen. But when God broke that attraction in me for him, because two cannot walk together except they be agreed, and I asked the Lord to deliver me from the feelings and the emotions that I had from this man, and he did. And how he did that was he no longer appeared attracted to me. So that the devil does those same things in marriages. He's a copycat. And so he'll actually bring about, and many times in counseling couples, I found out the first thing they say is that I never liked you, or you just don't look attracted to me anymore, when sometimes the women are beautiful and the man is handsome, but Satan has destroyed a connection.
Yes.
And you begin to feel that someone you used to think was so fine is nothing there. That is the trick of the enemy.
Yes.
Go to God in prayer and ask the Lord to restore the attraction, to restore the thing that you used to have in the beginning, and God will do it.
Yes.
And those attributes and those characteristics that you found once awesome in a man and alluring, God will bring it back if you take it to the Lord.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
really, He will do it. It's just that simple.
You got any? That's a good. That's very good. And I think that sometimes we feel like we put a Band-Aid on things and we say, well, take it to the Lord. And it feels like you're not getting a direct answer. But that is a direct answer.
Yeah.
God is actually, he's very, he's concerned about everything concerning your marriage. Your attraction is a big part of being married. I'm sorry? So be sure, you guys, we may not have the Aunties on too many other times, so be sure to invite your followers on tonight. This is gonna be some good wisdom, y'all. We got 100 years of marriage in this room on tonight. Plus some, we got a couple more who's sitting in the background. But you know, we always say at Marriage for Real, part of being married is leaving a legacy behind. He says, my wife cut me off because I had a vasectomy, so now I'm trying to win her love and trust back. Right. So I remember you, Nakihara, because your wife wanted more children and you didn't want any more children. Yes, you can pray before foreplay and during sex. Oh, Jesus. Romans 8:28 says you can play.
You can pray before foreplay and during. That's what she said.
Can you pray?
Did they say pray?
You can pray before foreplay and during sex. She said, if necessary, and I know Romans 28, they've been married for 30 years. So it must be working.
Well, praise the Lord.
Whatever makes you.
Awesome. So Nakihara said, this is Nakihara's story. Nakihara had a vasectomy and his wife wanted more children. So now he's trying to win her heart back because she didn't want him to. But he's also had cancer and he didn't want to have more children out of fear. So after the affair, it worked for me. Oh, I got you. There was an affair during their marriage, and so that's definitely
the disconnection.
No, this is somebody totally different. This is somebody totally different. Yeah, somebody totally different. Yes, she was saying no. Nicole said no, nothing happened. It just
disconnected, and we know that was the enemy.
That's a trick of
That's the
the
enemy.
Right.
Just Satan.
yes. Any one piece of wisdom that you would give to our married couples?
You have to stay before God. You have to communicate. Don't let communicate. I don't care if you don't think he wants to hear it. Communicate. Find some way. Remember, there are 5 different love languages. And I keep referring to talking to couples because we counsel couples all of the time. And this man told me that his wife doesn't seem affectionate for him or love him. And I asked him, I said, really, what does she do for you? He says, well, she irons my pants. She irons my clothes. She fixes me some food. I said, do you know the 5 love languages? If you don't know them, you'll think that she doesn't love you when she's talking all kinds of love and showing love to you. But because you don't understand his or her love languages, you may not feel your love. My husband is not a talker. He's not a communicator with words, but I know his love language.
yes.
He'll say, the very fact that I'm here should let you know I love you. The very fact that I didn't go anywhere. You know, he communicates with acts of service. Again, love language is quality time. The very fact that I'm sitting here with you should let you know I love you. So if you don't know what your spouse's love language is, you may feel unattended to, not loved, and because you don't know that his love language could either be quality time, words of affirmation. He's not a person that talks, so he affirms in just sitting next to me. You know, he affirms in just coming in the room and not going anywhere. The very fact that I'm here should let you know I love you.
Yes.
So familiarize yourself with your spouse's ways, his love language.
Terrence
It is
Pastor
so
needs to get a
important.
scope. Okay. Terrence said, this is Terrence. Terrence married with goals. Terrence just hopped on. She said, Pastor needs to get a scope. Other homes. Assistant Pastor. Auntie Brenda.
All right.
What is your number one advice to married couples?
Communication is to talk, to try to understand one another, be patient, to really have patience, and to show yourself that you love them. I mean, be affectionate, the most affectionate you can be to a person, and to your husband or to your wife, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You got to show that love. I'm an affectionate person. I am. I'm very affectionate. And I was asking my husband this morning. I was talking about, because we were comparing. What now? Do you love me? And we always asking questions. But I told him, what can I do to show you that I love you? He said, and that I love you. After 47 years, he said, it's nothing. You never change. And those words, it's certain words that for a woman they like to hear.
Yes.
Some things you like to hear from your husband. And I see my husband, how he loves me. He's constantly doing things for me now. He's cook, cleans, and And I love that. He's a different man.
Yeah.
After 47 years, and he went from one man to a new man. An old man to a new man. For 47 years. I love it. I love it. I love my marriage now better than I loved it at the beginning. I really did. I love it now.
Now, it's so funny that we sorry, Elder Holmes, but we don't, well, we're not going to do that right now. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Hold on, you guys. We're going to let Auntie Tanya talk about what is the number one thing advice you would give.
That word intentional just keeps coming to my mind. You have to be intentional.
Yes.
You have to know what your spouse likes and intentionally try to make your spouse happy. Because the Bible says a family that prays together stays together. That's the word. So we have to intentionally pray with our spouses. We have to intentionally find out what our spouse's love language is. And we have to intentionally try to make our spouse, number one over the kids, under, of course, not higher than the Lord. But just be intentional with your relationship.
Yeah, Romans 8:28 says, yes, you must be intentional. They intentionally totally agree. Advice on blended family and different upbringings. What advice do you guys have on that?
Pray.
Very hard.
Pray.
You guys know we talked about it here. We had a blended family, and you cannot go into your blend. We know we're going to let the aunties speak. All right, aunties.
What you say?
Couples
They hear us all the
married
time.
before
Oh.
and had children out of outside of the other man.
Well, I can't
It's a very,
Yeah.
very, you have got to accept those children outside of the marriages really as you
Somebody said mother-in-laws.
Mother outlaws.
Mother in love,
Oh,
which
mother.
I am.
It's hard. It's really hard because you do want to be included in their family, in the relationship that they have with their children. You want to be included. You want to be loved. And sometimes it takes time. That's when you really have to exercise a lot of patience. It takes time for them to accept you as they do their loved ones, their original father or mother or husbands and wife. But you do want to be included. You may feel hurt if you're left out of it. So that's something you just have to keep loving them as if they're yours. Deal with them as if they're yours. Treat them as if they were yours. And understand if your husband or your wife loves them, if your husband loves them, then you ought to love them because you love him. They're a part of him. And if he loves them, everything in you should also love them and do everything you can to make him happy through accepting those that he loves.
Yes, that's true.
Absolutely. What if stepmom is just not nice, but kids live in her home? My mother-in-law was my best go-to lady. Oh, yes. So what if the mother-in-law, what if the stepmother is just not nice?
Wow.
And the kids go home with her. So here's the thing too that I can add to that piece of that is because Dwayne and I talk about this often. One thing that Dwayne did for me and my bonus baby, was what I call him, is that he did not demand that we had a relationship, and he did not force a relationship. What we had to do was we had to develop a relationship on our own outside of he and Dwayne. So we have our own relationship that's not dictated or predicated upon his dad and our relationship. So that even when they have their own thing, him and I have our own thing. And that works for us. It's very difficult when that child comes in. They feel like an outsider. They're coming into your space. And they're coming into your house and your family. So one thing that we did was we make sure that when we got our house redone, we had a seat made just for him, so he wasn't pulling up a chair when he came to our house. His chair was already there. We tried to make him not feel like an outsider. When we bought a new car, we made sure the new car fit 6 and not 5. Not that we had to make room for him. And so you have to make sure, his space, he had a space in the house. So you cannot make that child make him feel like he's coming to your space. He's coming or she's coming to their space. It's just their other space. I didn't have baby mama drama, so I can't speak to that. But it's not natural, y'all. It ain't natural for another woman to be accepting of another woman who done slept with your man. That ain't natural. So this is marriage for real, okay? So there is some boundary going to be there anyway. And then when that other person has a child, it's almost kind of like they know him a little bit more intimately than you might. And so that may be an issue, but it doesn't. We always talk about being grown. You got to be grown, right? And so you have to take on what the Lord has given you. You have to take on the heart of God and view that relationship with that child through the lens, and that mother through the lens of God, but be wise. That's all I got to say about it. What somebody else think? Anybody else got any more questions for the aunties, y'all? The aunties are here. 100 years of marriage is in this room. That is crazy. Crazy. I think Auntie Brenda spoke to it about sex after, like, does it get old? After?
Time for me to go.
Does it get old after a certain number of years?
I don't think it get old. I think it could get better. Because I say you learn each other. Really.
Watch out now.
Seriously. And that's the fact.
Tim said, I want to hear this elder home.
They can-
Tears on.
Oh my goodness. It does get better because, like I said before, you know each other more intimate for a longer time, so you feel more free to request certain things from them. Or her,
Like
Let's
what?
try
Like what, elder home?
Certain things.
Do tell.
I'm just saying, when you're intimate to your companion, your spouse, y'all can talk it over. What is right, if he like it or she like it, and there's nothing wrong that's disagreeing with the Lord, well, then it's okay. It's okay. That's it. It's not contrary to God. It's all right.
The marriage bed is blessed and undefiled.
So it's
Auntie Tanya, how you keep it fresh? That was a question they passed out. How you keep it fresh?
Saran wrap.
Y'all know Brother D's in the background. Oh, Lord.
Use your imagination. Saran wrap.
Okay, saran wrap. Okay,
Jesus.
my nephew said saran wrap, so I'm gonna have to try that. I don't know.
They are laughing out loud over here.
I don't know, but I know my husband told me, do not get in that bed anymore with those flannel pajamas on. He said, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna buy you what I want to see you wear. So I don't know. I'm thinking, after 20 years, he still chases me around the house, and I'm like, what is that about? But I guess because he wants to keep it fresh, and there's still an attraction there.
That's
so
good.
yeah. So
That's real good.
Mm-hmm.
She said she got 7. She said she got. They've been married for 7 years. They got 2 babies, and they wondering how do you keep the romance and things like that alive when you got babies? Y'all, we in our
Oh my God.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
3 babies.
See, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Go ahead. That's so funny.
I'm just, remembering a lot of things, but sometimes for a woman, especially when I was working and the 3 kids, it could get a little hectic,
Mm-hmm.
It did, especially in the middle of the night when they're waking you up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's tiresome. So,
Yeah.
but to keep the romance, it's when you get a babysitter.
Yeah.
And you two by yourself.
Yeah.
And you find things, talking to, a lot of times it's not always about sex. You got to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about talking.
Right. The talk.
Being together.
Yes.
And just touching, just a hand touch, or, you don't always have to be sex. I tell my husband, just give me a hug. Just give me a hug, a kiss. I don't always have to, have sex. But, it's romance. Just being
She said
right.
preach.
Huh?
She said preach. She said, and Romans 8:20 says, do it even when you don't feel like it.
That was my next statement too.
Go ahead.
Sometimes you're not gonna feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because you can work a 10-hour job,
Yes, tell me.
take care of the kids, go to the grocery store, help with the homework, come home and do everything else. And as soon as you get home and get in the bed and get relaxed, here goes somebody touching your leg, hitting your hug, touching your thigh, and sometimes you just have to just, That's
But he said be submissive.
yeah. You have to
That's
sometimes.
scripture.
Yeah.
So what does submissive like really mean?
You know what they're talking about.
I mean, we hear that all the time. Like,
They
what
say-
does submissive really mean, though?
What submissive means?
What I just said. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you be tired,
Yes, I'm
and you have to, because that is your spouse.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to.
She said, "Suck it up," literally.
When you don't feel like it. Right. There you go. Thank you. Suck it up. Right. Right. Be grown.
Yeah, be wrong.
Be grown.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Terrence said, "Pastor, you are quiet over here." What does
But can I just be honest? Can I be honest without being perceived as a prune?
prude?
Everybody doesn't have the same sex drive.
True.
You know, and it's okay. I guess I hear the rest of them talking. I'm like, oh Lord, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Everybody seem like they on fire.
Not me. I wear flannels to bed, Pastor.
I'd rather have my sleep.
Me too.
Every now and then, it's okay. You know what I mean? But everybody doesn't have the same libido. Is that right?
Libido.
It's mostly with young people, But I remember.
I'm 60 years old.
I'm
but
67.
and my husband's 74, 75. Now his is way above mine. now, and I'm like, okay, well, but it's just something. Everybody's different. That's not my, it's all right. But everybody doesn't have the same amount of drive.
That's true.
And so you have to accept that. It don't mean you don't love or
That's true.
I'm not.
Right.
So are you saying that your husband has to accept the fact that y'all is on two different levels?
No. Well, yeah, but but you all mentioned the word submission.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to understand that it's still
Yeah.
my responsibility as a wife
Right.
to accommodate him. The Bible said don't defraud one another except for a time when it's down to fasting. Other than that, it's my responsibility to do my benevolence or whatever. But I'm just saying.
Benevolence, like she's giving to charity, you guys.
The Bible says benevolent. Benevolent. I like to stay with scripture. The Bible's, except for a time, and then come together again that you don't tempt one another.
Yes.
So it's my responsibility not to be. My body doesn't belong to me. The Bible said it belongs to Him. His body don't belong to Him. It belongs to me. So with that in mind, it's not about how I feel all the time. My
Gotcha.
body being His.
Gotcha.
But you have to be truthful now. We do know the word no.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have used, we know when to say no. Or I'm tired.
Yeah.
But it's be considered. Because we're supposed to be submissive, but it's not to a point that you're not feeling good or you're tired, you overworked or whatever.
Right.
So I would say not tonight. Okay, I'm tired. Or
Yeah.
this is too late or
Shouldn't
early
it
in the
go be that we
morning.
both
My
put
husband
ours,
heard a lot
not
of
just for
words
the
of
other
that
person?
night. Even though I'm gonna tell you I did, I like sex. True enough, when I was a
28.
young girl.
Is it important that you all both be pleased, or should you just do it at times for the other person when one person asks?
I think both should be pleased. At one time, it seemed like always the man. It was always the man just to please him. But I think both partners should be pleased. That's what I'm saying. You should be able to talk up and say what you need or what you need from it. Because society at the beginning, when I was younger, he was always the man.
Always the man.
You got your charger. My battery's about to die.
Mine's about to. You gotta get cut this short.
Can somebody please go find a Samsung Galaxy charger, please?
Oh, I don't. I didn't bring my charger with me.
All right, guys. If I'm tired.
It's over now.
She said, if I'm doing it when I'm tired, I better get pleased too. Okay.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
it.
The sons are still leaving out. Yes, Regina. So you guys, my battery's at 5%. We've been on, I think, for almost an hour. Haven't you guys enjoyed? Yes.
Really?
Haven't you guys enjoyed the aunties? Like, right? Hearts for the aunties. Yes. I think my battery's like, we're about to die. They said we loved the aunties. They said love the aunties.
All right.
Yes, we had, but like I keep saying, 100 years of marriage in this room, and so They said we love them. Taryn said she loves them.
Love you too.
They said so.
Terry, you know your aunt here. Yeah.
We have to have y'all back on again.
We're gonna have the aunties back on again. Trust me, you guys. Watch the replay if you're just hopping in. Remember on the replay that you can give hearts on the replay as well. You can watch it on catch.me / marriage for real right here. That's gonna get a little bit more lights. Really quick, you guys. So we thank you for just watching this broadcast of Marriage for Real. And we'll see you guys on tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, you guys. We're sending you love. We're sending you love.
Seven.
Okay.
You
I
know,
gotta go.
wait a minute. You know that our number is the number of completion. So if you heard or you said something, you heard something here that blessed you. That's right. Capella School is doing it right now. Put those 7s up on the screen right there, Sister Lana. Enjoyed, fun, and informative is what they said. Well, thank you very much. We will see you all tomorrow. Good night.
It doesn't fit. It's not the right.
Good night.
Good night.